Hey, what's going on, guys? There was this video that I noticed was posted by someone I follow pretty often. It's by Alex Jones. It says Trump pledges to use military on land and sea to dismantle drug and human trafficking networks in the United States. So that's what I'm going to be doing in this video. I'm going to be reacting to this and sharing my thoughts. And yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it.
Drug overdose deaths increased every single year. Under my leadership, we took the drug and fentanyl crisis head on, and we achieved the first reduction in overdose deaths in more than 30 years. I also proudly signed the SUPPORT Act, the largest investment ever in combating the opioid epidemic. Sadly, under Joe Biden, our hard-won progress has been surrendered along with the surrender of our southern border. It's such a shame. Now fentanyl and other ultra-deadly poisons are pouring into our country unchecked, stealing more than 100,000 American lives every single year. And many people think that real number is 300,000 to 400,000.
Yeah, he's right. He's right about that. Fentanyl has been huge. Like, even in tiny-ass states, everywhere, bro. Fentanyl is fucking everywhere. And I myself was a victim of fentanyl not too long ago. Basically, when I was on cocaine, right, I actually got a batch that was laced with fentanyl, and I overdosed on it and almost died. And by overdose, I mean like my heartbeat stopped and shit. It was crazy. I was lucky to have someone there with me to actually bring me back to life after that experience. But it was not fun, okay? I thought it was over. I thank God every single day that I'm still here because of that incident. I saw a bunch of fentanyl when I used to deal drugs. There's all sorts of things out there. There's even in this most unknown parts of the United States, there's fentanyl, okay? And someone wanted me to sell fentanyl, and I couldn't do it, okay? Because I know what it's fucking doing to people, and I know its effects, and I know it's a killer, and I didn't want to be a killer. So I didn't end up dealing that shit, thank God. But I know more than a lot of people the presence it actually has in this country. Even in my local area, I've seen people drop dead on the streets just from fentanyl, man. It is not pretty. It is disgusting.
Joe Biden's record is one of death, destruction, and misery in communities all across our nation. When I'm back in the White House, I will take action on day one to end this horrific plague and save American lives. Joe Biden will never solve the drug overdose crisis because he is actively destroying our border.
Yeah, and he's out of his fucking mind. So, he's like pretty sure he has some form of dementia and some other shit that comes with old age, and he doesn't even know what the hell he's doing. So he shouldn't be in office, and I'm glad that Trump has won, because I didn't want Kamala to take office specifically because she was related to Joe Biden, and Joe Biden just was not good at all for the country. It really doesn't have much to do with right side or left side for me. It really just has to do with what you're doing, how you present yourself, and just the outcome of your term, okay? And Donald Trump's first term was good, man. It was good. It was one of the best terms that I've seen, and that's why I voted for him. So it has nothing to do with abortion or none of that other shit. I really couldn't care less about any of that. It's just he's a strong leader and always presented himself in that way,
What he has done to our border. We had the safest border in the history of our country, and now we have the worst border probably anywhere in the world, including third world countries. That's why I have previously announced I will impose a full naval embargo on the drug cartels and deploy military assets to
Oh,
inflict
wow.
maximum damage on cartel operations. I will insist on the full cooperation of neighboring governments to dismantle the trafficking and smuggling networks in our region, and I will ask Congress to ensure that drug dealers, kingpins, and human traffickers receive the death penalty. At the same time, I will direct...
You know, I'm not exactly sure, what he means in the direct vicinity of drug dealer. I don't know if he means shit like fentanyl drug dealers or, because there's a wide range of drug dealers out there. I was one of them, okay? When it comes to dangerous shit like fentanyl, I agree with the death penalty, right? But anything other than that, it's not really the drug dealer's fault, I mean, it is to an extent, but at the end of the day, it's someone's choice what they want to get into, and even I realized, because I was a victim of addiction for a while, and I realized that it wasn't their fault, it was my fault, okay? And I learned my lesson, and I was able to get out of that lifestyle, which is why I'm here today, still kicking. So, I'm not sure the exact range of drug dealers he's talking about, but if it's fentanyl drug dealers, I would agree with that statement, but other than that, like crack, meth, weed, I don't, that death penalty is, they do not deserve that, I'm gonna be real.
Federal law enforcement here in the United States to take down the gangs and organized street crime that distribute these deadly narcotics on a local level. They are killing our people. They are poisoning our beautiful children. I will permanently designate fentanyl as a federally controlled substance, and I will tell China that if they do not clamp down on the export of fentanyl's chemical precursors, they will pay a steep price. I had a deal worked out with President Xi. They weren't going to be sending any more, and they were going to impose the death penalty on those that made it in China. But with a rigged election, that ended. Attacking the supply of these deadly drugs will be just the beginning. We must also do more to end the scourge of addiction here at home. Among the most important steps we can take is to strengthen the pillars that give life, meaning, and hope for those struggling with addiction, particular work, faith, and family. We need work, faith, and family. My administration will
absolutely, man. What he's saying is 100% true. Work, faith, and family. I feel like those three things are the basis on what you need, just to survive, man. It will help your mental health a lot to have a working job, to have something to put your faith in, and to have a family to lean on. So I 100% agree with that, and I really do appreciate what he's doing.
Support measures to make it easier for those suffering from addiction to seek treatment without losing their jobs. Partnerships for companies willing to provide job opportunities and skills training for former addicts. We will expand federal support for faith-based counseling, treatment, and recovery programs, recognizing that we are going to need God's help to steer our country out of this crisis. Finally, we will ensure that if a parent, child, spouse, or other relative needs to take time to care for a loved one fighting to overcome addiction, they are more easily able to take advantage of the family leave program, so important. When I'm president, we will not rest until we have ended the drug addiction crisis in America. We will win. It will happen.
Now, this is huge. Addiction is probably one of the top 5 issues in this country. Like, I'm being real. One of the top 5. And that's for every country. Addiction is huge. It's been around since the beginning of time. And if he can do anything to help people who are in that situation and limit these cartels, like he said he was going to, that are importing drugs through the borders, then that would actually make this a much greater country. Day one, he says he's going to deal with these issues. So hopefully on day one, these issues will be dealt with.
We have to win, though, in 2024, because our country is going to hell. Thank you.
Wow. That's crazy. This country's going to hell, yeah. It really is with these TikToks and all that other shit. Yeah, that was a good fucking video, man. You know, there were so many issues that were addressed by the next president. You know, it's crazy, you know, and Joe Biden never did something like this. He never went up and addressed major issues like this that actually need to be dealt with and that were huge problems that everyone just pretended weren't there, you know. Like, Trump is taking his next presidency by the balls, dude. And this could really change shit up in the next 4 years. So I'm looking forward to his term, you know. And it was honestly a really hopeful video. You know, it gives me a lot of hope for this country, you know, seeing that the president does recognize this issue and is going to take action on it. So thank you guys for watching. That's all I got for you, and see you next time.